everyone, it's Stephanie. I'm going to be doing my everyday foundation routine for you guys today. And I'm wearing my Tennessee Titans football shirt today because my team is playing later and I really want them to win. So I'm just showing a little bit of support. So first I'm going to put my hair back so you guys have a nice unobstructed view of my face. And I do this generally anyway because I don't like my hair being all in my face whenever I do my foundation. So okay, I'm starting off with a nice clean dry face. I have removed all of my makeup except for eye makeup, and my eyebrows are penciled in a little bit. But the first step that I always do, I feel like this step really makes a difference in the way my foundation looks, the way it feels, the way it goes on. I use a primer. The type of primer that you use is not super duper important. It's just really up to you. I use this Photo Loving primer by NYX. It is an anti-redness primer, so it's the green color. And I just put a little bit on my fingers and I apply it all over my face and I just rub it gently in. You don't have to like scrub it in or rub it in super hard. I just very gently rub it in. So let it dry. Okay, I think that about does it. The next step is going to be actually applying the foundation, and my everyday foundation favorite is Revlon PhotoReady foundation. I'm using the color Shell, which is 003, which is a nice fair shade. And this is just what I use on a regular day. You know, I might use a more of a full coverage foundation if I'm gonna be doing photos or something like that, because the PhotoReady foundation, despite the name, does not tend to be good for photos because it does cast a white sort of reflection because it has SPF in it. So if you are wanting to do photos with flash light, you know, flash photography, I would go with a foundation that does not have SPF. But this is just my everyday, people seeing me in real life lighting foundation, and it works very well. I'm using a generic beauty blender. This is not an actual beauty blender. This is, I believe I got this from Ulta, but it is very similar to the beauty blender and I have gotten it wet. Get your beauty blender or your replacement for your beauty blender, get it wet and then squeeze out the excess water and use a damp sponge. This works because it keeps the sponge from absorbing your liquid foundation. So here we go. I'm going to take the foundation and I'm gonna do 2 little squirts on my hand. And then there it is, there's the foundation. I'm going to dip the fat end of my beauty blender in there and I'm going to start in the middle of my face and just sort of blend out. I always apply the foundation right in the middle and then use the beauty blender to blend outwards. That's because most of the discoloration in your face is going to be in the middle of your face, whereas as you go outside the face, the skin is usually more even. And the way you're gonna use the beauty blender is to sort of bounce it. Bounce and rub, bounce and rub. Revlon foundations for me tend to dry very quickly, so you have to work pretty fast. Then I use the smaller end of the beauty blender foundation sponge, it's not really a beauty blender, but the sponge, and go into the small crevices and bounce along those areas. So in the folds of the nose, under the eyes, up in the corners, like that. And there you go. I have a nice even foundation that looks really nice. So now that I've applied my foundation, I'm going to apply concealer. And I know some people probably apply concealer first before foundation, but for me, I found that I prefer to apply my foundation and then apply concealer. I'm using a cream concealer by Tarte. It's the Tarte Amazonian, I'm sorry, it's not, it's the Tarte Maracuja creaseless concealer. And I'm almost done with this tube, so it works really well, and a little bit of this goes a long way. I am using this is a Soho brush. It's just a kind of a foundation brush, or a concealer brush. You don't have to use a concealer brush. You can use your fingers. If you don't have one, fingers work just fine. Or if you have a different kind of brush, as long as it's sort of semi-flat and fairly densely packed, that will work. Again, I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand. There we go, and I probably put too much, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough. There you can see the little dot. And I'm gonna dip the flat end of my concealer brush into the concealer, and I'm going to do like 3 little dots under my eye and then blend it. And by blending it, all you do is just sort of brush it on and blend it out. There we go. Do the other eye the same exact way. And then I use the same concealer and the same brush to conceal any blemishes that I may have going on. And I do have one right now, right here on my jawline, just a pimple. I'm gonna conceal that the same way. And right here in the crease of my nose, I have a little stubborn blemish that will not go away, and it's in an area that hurts really bad. So I'm gonna conceal that little bad boy. And you probably can't see it, but I have some little blemishes up here. I use this opportunity to sort of rub my jawline into my neck if I feel like there's a, obvious difference. The last step in my foundation routine before I apply anything else, before I apply blush, before I do concealer, or before I do blush, before I do contouring, is I set my face with a powder. I'm using a really nice setting powder by e.l.f. So it's only about $6 at drugstores, and it's a high definition powder and it works really well. It comes with a brush or a little puff like this, which I have used. You can tell, you can see it's all, it has foundation on it from me using it in the past, but I do prefer to use a soft brush, so I'm gonna use that for you guys today. And then I just brush the high definition powder on my face. This is gonna help set my foundation, it's gonna set my concealer, and it's going to keep my face looking non-oily throughout the day. And I will apply this, reapply as needed, because it is translucent and it's not gonna cover up the blush that I will be applying later. Now you're ready to do blush and contouring if you choose to do contouring, lips and eyes and eyebrows. If you want me to do any other tutorials, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and everybody have a wonderful day.